Hey, welcome to Kendama Jendale and the Fake News. This is Saturday, March 4th. It's about 10:30 p.m. when I'm recording this. A few days ago, I made this thing called Trump and the NSA. I think it's super pertinent. If you want more information on what's going on right now, going back and watching this isn't the worst thing in the world. It's kind of, I think, kind of an interesting perspective in light of today's news, right, regarding Trump accusing the Obama administration of wiretapping his stuff. Because this one is kind of the long view. It sort of is this is I'm kind of hypothesizing what is going to happen under the NSA to the NSA under the Trump administration. In other words, what the administration is going to look like in 8 years. Um, Kind of tough to say overall, but I think I made some good guesses, and it's really interesting, I think, in light of today's events. Um, okay, so what happened today, right? I don't even know if I have a. Okay, here we go. Trump's baseless wiretap claim, right? Donald Trump made a stunning claim Saturday alleging, without offering evidence, that his predecessor Barack Obama wiretapped his phones at the Trump Tower ahead of the election. Just found out Obama had my wires tapped in the Tower, he claims. Is it legal for a sitting president to be, quote, wiretapping a race for a president prior to the election? Okay, so plan. Basically, it's retribution, right, for the Democrats going after Jeff Sessions. The Democrats went after Michael Flynn. They successfully took him out. Jeff Sessions is going to be the attack, the point man on this initiative against the Democrats, right? He's going to be the one that's going to bring charges against Hillary for her emails and for the way, and primarily for the way that she's run the Clinton Foundation, right? The emails are basically a ruse. There were two ongoing FBI investigations during the course of the election. One was into the emails, and the other was into the Clinton Foundation. And there was all that drama about the emails during the election. The FBI reopened the investigation into the emails, but they did not say anything about the Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation investigation was in fact open the entire time, right? And that's where the real meat and potatoes is. That's where the CIA stuff is taking place, the trafficking, the guns, all the other stuff. So uh, so Trump's got to defend Sessions, right? And he was kind of waiting, I think, for the Democrats to react. So the Democrats went for Sessions, and it is a little baseless, I think, and it may be incorrect or it may be correct, but it's a smart move on Trump's part for a lot of reasons. First, he's basically citing unknown intelligence officials, right? So now basically we've got our unnamed intelligence officials within working for the Washington Post, working for the New York Times, who are making these claims against Trump, and Trump's got his own unnamed intelligence officials making opposite claims, right? Or counterclaims. So it does the claims at the very least, Trump's claim today at the very least serves to undermine confidence in the unnamed government officials, right? He's basically calling the bluff. He's saying, "Show me your evidence," right? Because if they want to be more effective than Trump's rhetoric here, they have to bring out more evidence. People have to speak out and actually claim this thing. The other interesting thing about this is to me, I mean, the assumption is that the NSA is wiretapping everyone, right? Um, and people who are familiar with the NSA will basically know that if you contact anyone outside the United States, that is to say, if you have communications with somebody outside the United States, or if someone you know has communication with somebody outside the United States, or if someone you know has someone they know who has communications with somebody outside the United States, then you personally are susceptible for getting wiretapped, right? So the Obama administration can't have it both ways, right? Or the former Obama administration. You can't. The Democrats can't have it both ways. Either Trump has ties with Russia, right, and has thus been wiretapped, or um, he has no ties to Russia and hasn't been wiretapped. It can't be both as far as I'm concerned. What's interesting is the claim that it's happening at Trump Tower. That's an oddly specific thing. It would be a lot easier for Trump to just say, Obama wiretapped me, right? Instead of making this weird claim about Trump Tower. So that's kind of interesting. And for people saying there's not evidence into this, this is an article from January 19th, 2017, and I don't know if people remember this, but when people were saying there's a Russia connection, right? There's these unnamed government sources. People, the claim that I saw at least was probably that these this information was probably coming from NSA intercepts, but they were classified NSA intercepts and couldn't be shared with people. And that's why there was this sort of widespread feeling within the intelligence community, supposedly, that Trump had ties to Russia. So this is the claim, right? The FBI is leading the investigations, aided by the National Security Agency, the CIA, and the Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Unit. So I mean that's going to have access to bank records and all the bank surveillance and all the other things too, right? Counterintelligence investigations examine the connections between American citizens and foreign governments. Um, it is unclear which Russian officials are under investigation. The legal standard for opening these investigations is low, and prosecutions are rare. So, this is kind of my point, right? That it's like this idea that wiretapping of Trump isn't happening seems really, really silly to me. The question is, did they wiretap Trump Tower? And frankly, to the point, I don't think it matters. If they wiretap Trump, right, and Trump comes out with evidence for this, and then the Democrats say, "Oh, well, it wasn't Trump Towers," they're just gonna prove that, they're gonna play into his hands. They're gonna play in the media that he was being wiretapped, even if it wasn't at Trump Tower. And if he does have evidence that it happened at Trump Tower, well, then then he'll have checkmated the Democrats. I think Trump was right when he said the Democrats have overplayed his hand. So this is kind of an interesting. I wanted to highlight this as part of this thing, right? The Obama administration basically claimed neither President Obama or any White House official ever ordered surveillance on any U.S. citizen. Any suggestion otherwise is completely false. Okay, so this is kind of a non-denial denial, right? Because surveillance is happening on U.S. citizens. 100% totally surveillance is happening on U.S. citizens. So, a federal judge would have only approved a warrant to wiretap Trump's phone if he or she had found probable cause that Trump had committed a federal crime or was a foreign agent. So, if Trump's under investigation from Russia, that means a federal judge could easily have approved this warrant, right? Um, it would have to be taken to a judge by investigators, but investigators never sought a warrant to monitor Trump phones. That just seems so skeptical. Either there was no, I'm so skeptical of this. Either there was no investigation into Trump's connections to Russia, or they investigated Trump and wiretapped his phones. That just seems obvious to me. Warrants to tap into someone's phones in the course of the federal investigation would be sought by the Department of Justice, which conducts investigations independent of the White House and the president. So, in order for there to be a warrant for a wiretap, there would have to be collusion between the Department of Justice and the White House. Oh, so this right when Loretta Lynch met Bill Clinton on the tarmac, that maybe is evidence of collusion between the White House and the Department of Justice, right? This is not beyond this is it makes sense for this to happen. This is all I'm trying to say. Um, like I said, I'm not super stoked on. I'm really sick of basically defending Trump because I'm not interested particularly in doing that. But I'm also not interested in defending the Democrats right now. And to be perfectly honest, they're being total idiots. And here's the thing, right? Is if you are defending Obama's use of the NSA against Trump, right? Assuming that happened, which I think is fair, right? I don't think that's outlandish to say that we think Obama. I wanted to bring awareness to this. Here's the Trump narrative that's happening. Basically, they think Obama's going to get arrested for this, right? And one of the interesting things is that I had wondered if it seemed like Obama wasn't going to go down with Hillary, right? Like he wasn't, but this pretty much seems like Trump is going after him and forcing him to double down and kind of defend Hillary. So Um, this is making, oh man, they even mentioned the Clinton Lynch thing. But I just wanted to bring awareness to this, where this is the type of thing you see from Trump supporters, where you have these long walls of text and you have a lot of claims made in it, and many of the claims are good and many of the claims are accurate, and some of the claims are not so good. Some of the claims contain inaccuracies, some of the claims contain propaganda. I mean, the entire thing contains propaganda, but some of them are falsehoods that are perpetrated for propaganda. So I was going to bring up waterboarding. I was basically going to make the evidence that said that the Obama administration claimed that waterboarding had stopped because they said that the president didn't have the authority to order it, which is the exact same claim that they're making here, right? That there was no intercepts, there was no NSA surveillance of Trump because the president doesn't have the authority to surveil Trump. That it would have to be someone else. My point is that I think someone else did do that thing, and someone else didn't. But the larger point, and the thing that I want to close with here, right, is that I think when liberals are currently defending the Obama administration's use of the NSA against Trump, I think that's going to make Trump's use of the NSA worse in the future. I think that's basically going to give Trump free reign to do whatever he wants forever with the NSA. And philosophically, it seems to me like his administration is going to be extremely pro NSA. And that's something I think that should concern pretty much everyone. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.